I know that the WNBA's media partners love that they have the Indiana Fevers, every single Indiana Fever game on national TV. I know they absolutely love it because the Indiana Fever, every single game they play, regardless of who it's against, regardless of what Vegas thinks that the line is going to be, if it's a 17-point line, it don't matter. Every single game that the Indiana Fever play is going to be exciting, come down to the stretch, come down to somebody having to do something phenomenal like what Skylar Diggins did tonight in order to send the game to overtime. It's like clockwork. The Indiana Fever do that, have these games every single night. Out of the 12 games they played so far this season, out of the 12 games they played so far this season, 7 of their games have been these barn burners all the way down to the wire, come down to the last shot kind of games. And, like I said, for the media partners, you love that. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to recruit money. Best way to recruit money is have a team that when they're on TV is going to be exciting. It's going to draw on fans. You might have, 2 players on the same team drop 30. You might see somebody hit a 3-point shot to send the game to overtime. You might see a game winner. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to see, but you know it's going to be exciting. That's not good, though, for Indiana Fever fans. As somebody who wants the Indiana Fever to go to the championship and, to accomplish big things this season, the fact that every single game comes down the stretch, comes down to the last couple possessions, goes to fucking overtime, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all because I'm going to tell you guys something that you may not know. I'm going to break down the hierarchy of, not the hierarchy, but I guess the order of the best games that you get, right? So, at number 3, we have a good team versus a bad team. That's usually the worst matchup you're going to get. The good team's usually going to smoke the bad team. Occasionally, you'll get the bad team. They keep the game close, send the game to overtime. Somebody might argue that that's what this was tonight with the Fever in the sky. At number 2, we have a good team and a good team. So when a good team plays another good team, they're usually both, very poised, very, they know the things they like to do. They are, they run their stuff very well. It's just really kind of like a chess match. If you've been watching the NBA Finals, you probably can tell that these are 2 evenly matched, really good teams. They both have their strengths, both have their weaknesses, both have things that they're really good at, both have things that they're really bad at, and basically each game is about one team trying to exploit the other team's weakness, and it's been a chess match in each game of the Finals has been exciting. That's number 2 when it comes down to the best games that you'll get out of these 3 teams. At number 1, you have a bad team versus a bad team. Now, when bad teams get together, anything can happen. You might have a game where the bad team gets up by 19, but then the other bad team comes back. The other bad team battles back. It's kind of a back and forth affair. The game goes to overtime based off of a last second 3-point shot by one of the players on the bad team. And then next thing you know, you got yourself a great game. That's the games that's how you get, like Hornets versus Bulls a couple years ago when the Hornets were up by a bunch of points and they kept turning over the ball. And then I think it was Zach LaVine hits a game winner. Bad team versus bad team. That's just like, that is the best game, the most entertainment game, because you don't know what you're going to get. Why? Because bad teams do bad things. Bad teams turn the ball over. Bad teams foul. Bad teams play bad defense. Bad teams allow people who you've never heard of in your entire life have career highs, and it's you never know. It's the wild card of basketball. And if I'm ranking the three most, the way that you'll get the best basketball game, at number 1, I have a bad team versus a bad team. And the reason why the Indiana Fever have all of these great games is because they are a bad team. They're a bad team with really good players. They're a bad team with really good players, but I think I say it time and time again, they're not a smart team. They don't play smart basketball. They foul at the worst times. Their offense from time to time goes absolutely ice cold. It's not good, the things that you see on a regular basis. And as I'm watching this game, I'm just kind of like, I'm stunned because the only saving grace for this game was the fact that I knew that there was no way it was impossible for the Fever to lose. The Fever were not going to lose this game. The Sky just didn't have the horses. The Sky just didn't have enough players that were going to make enough plays down the stretch in order for them to win this game. In order for them to even be in this game, they had to have a career high from, a rookie that, no disrespect to her, she was balling on her. She was from New York. If I had to guess, she was from Brooklyn. I'm experts to actually do that right now. I'm pretty sure that she is from Brooklyn, New York. If I had to guess, just based off her play style, getting downhill, getting to the rim. Louisiana, somebody said that she was from New York. The broadcast be lying. Oh no, I'm sorry. She went to Louisville. Where is she from? Hold on. We're gonna find this out. We're gonna find this out. Sydney Taylor. Sydney Taylor. Where are you from, Sydney Taylor? I just opened up the same page twice. Sydney Taylor. Where are you from? She is from South Huntington, New York. I'm not. Oh, it's in Suffolk County. Yeah, so she's from the city. I'm close. I was close. She's not from Brooklyn, but she plays a very, very Brooklyn style of basketball. She gets downhill. She can go really well ISO against a really bad defender. She's good. She's solid. She made plays, but she contributes to this bad game versus bad game construction that I'm trying to create here. Because, like I said, no disrespect to her, she's a player that you've never heard of in your entire life. I haven't. Prior to today, if you had shown me a picture of her, I couldn't tell you who this girl was. And I'm gonna keep saying it. No disrespect to her. I'm just being honest. But she has a great game, and then the superstar on the Fever have a great game. Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark had a phenomenal game today. Both of them. Caitlin came out with the leg sleeve, feeling like somebody brand new. Shout out to her. Hit that first three of the game, and she overall had a big night. She was efficient, 8 of 18 from the floor. Hit 15 free throws, hit all her free throws, so came back and really avenged that missing those 2 free throws at the end of the missed game. Finished with 32 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, another 35 and 5 game for. I'm pretty sure that extends the record for her. It was a great game for Caitlin, great game for Aliyah Boston. I'm really happy we got to see that pick and roll come back in full force today, because honestly today reminded me a lot of 2024 Fever game when you got Caitlin Clark, you got Aliyah Boston. They're just pick and roll to death, and yeah, it's you can see it coming from a mile away. It's not like a surprising strategy. It's not anything that I'm saying it takes rocket science to know that it's coming, but it's impossible to stop. So the fact that Stephanie White to start the season was so adamant that I'm saying that they didn't need to run this pick and roll, it didn't make any sense, because it's the best 2-man action in the entire league. So to not run it is just not wise. I'm not going to call it stupid. It's just not wise. But they have great games, but just down the stretch when you think that the Fever are ready to pull away and able to just kind of put their foot back on the Sky's neck, they make mistakes. Kelsey Mitchell drops the ball when they're up by 3 to even give the Sky a chance to come back and hit that 3 with Skylar Diggins. Then they go up by 19. They're playing amazing. They're playing with pace. They're not fouling. They're playing great defense. For the first quarter, their defense was amazing. They're getting stops. I think for a lot of it was also the Sky just really missing shots. I think there was a point where they missed, I think it was 12 shots in a row. So it just overall wasn't, a great offensive first quarter for the Sky. But the Fever were making the most out of it. They were getting transition points. They were scoring off of turnovers. It was what you want to see. But in bad team fashion, in the second and third quarter, what happens? How did the Sky get back in the game in the second quarter? Well, the Fever don't play defense. In the very first game of the season, I said something that's not going to work for this team is going to be Lexi Hull being the only point of attack defender on the team. And the Fever have done even way worse than I thought they were going to do. Not only is Lexi the only point of attack defender, they don't even really use her, because Caitlin Clark 99% of the time is getting ISO to hell. So it's not even like they're having Lexi in a situation where she's, switching off defenders or not switching off defenders and really holding on to a matchup, because time and time again we end up with somebody against Caitlin Clark, taking the ball downhill on her throat. Time and time again. Happened tonight, too. For the first 2.5 quarters, Steph White had Caitlin Clark up on Sydney Taylor. Sydney Taylor's having a great game. She's getting downhill. It doesn't really take much to get around Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark from time to time will play solid defense, but I'm noticing more and more, really all you got to do is get past Caitlin and just give her a good huh-huh. You give her a good huh-huh, and you can get past Caitlin Clark, you can get to the rim, because the Fever also don't play help defense, because once you get past her, you just turn that corner, and you're literally getting to the basket. You can walk to the basket, honestly. You don't even got to really, put too much effort into it. And so Lexi Hull is our only point of attack defender, but she's not used because we have Caitlin Clark being ISO to hell. And from time to time, well, not from time to time, every single game, the way how this team ends up in these situations where they have a big lead and they end up losing it, it's because all teams have to do is realize, oh my God, all we have to do is just dribble the ball straight down their throat, and they can't stop it. They don't have any bigs that are real shot blockers. Like Aliyah Boston can block shots, which I wouldn't say that she's necessarily like a great rim protector. Like I said, she'll block a shot from time to time. But Kayla Timpson, you would think she'd be better at blocking shots, but she's not. Mo Billings, not a shot blocker. Maisha Hines-Allen puts in great effort. She actually had a big block today. You know what I'm saying? Had a great block today, but overall, just for her size, really can't be necessarily a great rim protector. But just the team just doesn't they don't have any kind of rim protection. So all teams got to do is just start going to the rim. And then once they start going to the rim, for some reason, the Fever won't just be like, hey, you know what we'll just do? We'll just trade baskets. We'll just trade baskets. Because, you know what I'm saying? We can't stop anybody from scoring, but at least we can score on the other end most of the time. No, the Fever decide, no, we actually really want to try to get these stops. And what they end up doing with that is they end up fouling. And that's how you end up when you have a 19-point lead, you end up the game going to overtime because you fouled 27 times. The one thing that you don't want to do when you have a big lead is extend the game. What extends the game? Turning the ball over and fouling. The Fever had 15 turnovers and they fouled 27 times. A game that was a 19-point game in with the second quarter ended up being a game that went to overtime and they won by, what did they win by? They won by 8 points because they just had more talent. They out-talented the Sky. The Sky didn't have the horses. Rakia Jackson being hurt. DJ Carrington still isn't back. Courtney Vandersloot still isn't back. The Sky overall aren't a good team. That's why the Fever were a 17-point favorite. But it's not a good win to be excited about. Like I said, there was no suspense. You knew the Fever were going to win the game, which is all about if the Sky were going to be able to drag this thing out for 3 overtimes and really make it exciting for Prime. So listen, we're 7-5. We'll take a win at the end of the day. Let's take a look at a couple of highlights because I gotta say we did have a couple of performances. Even though it was an ugly game, Caitlin did come out here with the leg sleeve. I'm not sure what made her want to bring out the leg sleeve, but she came out hitting post moves, hit a big 3 to start the game, a big deep logo 3, and listen, she was on go from the start. No rim protection from the Sky. She's able to just turn the corner time and time again. And what Caitlin did this game, actually before I get into that, I think this is one of Caitlin's best passes of her entire career. I'll be honest with you. Does it show the entire play? Because I'm pretty sure this play was like off of a block or something. So Caitlin is moving down at full speed. Oh shit! Caitlin is moving down at full speed. Where the hell is it? Caitlin's moving down at full speed. Oh my god. There we go. Caitlin's moving down at full speed. Comes to a stop. Just has bodies in her way. Has a body right here. Aliyah Boston hasn't even really committed all the way to coming down to the paint. She's getting down to her spot. But Caitlin just reads this pass before it could even happen. And honestly, as I'm running down the court, I see it. But I'm like, I'm supposed to see it. I'm watching it with the big screen with the wide view. I can see Aliyah Boston trailing with the 2 defenders just looking absolutely lost. But the fact that Caitlin could see it, she makes this quick move, drops an absolute dime to Aliyah. Just absolutely phenomenal. Just a great game from Caitlin overall. That 3-point shot is still struggling after shooting 40% last game. She was 1 for 6 tonight, so we don't love that. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And we really got to get to stacking better days, man. Really got to get to stacking better days. I say it literally every single game now. We need to stack good days. We need to stack good. And at this point, I'm going to downgrade it to we need to stack good quarters. We need to stack good quarters because the fact that we're able to be up by 19-1 quarter and then the game was close before halftime, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's untenable. It's not something that you want to even try to maintain because at the end of the day, bro, you want to have a couple of games that are boring. You want to have a couple of games where you're up by 20 the entire time and you go home. A couple of games like the Sky game, like the Dream game. A couple of games like the first Portland Fire game. You know, the game against Seattle. Like you don't want every game to be something that comes down to the end because, like I said, that's only really great for CBS and Prime and ESPN and everybody else. Shout out to AB. AB with that 3-ball. I said it was going to be a big improvement, a big addition for the team this year, and it's really, really kind of like taking off the last three or 4 games. This is, I think, the second game in a row, or maybe the second in the last 3 games where she had multiple threes, and she's just looking confident. She's shooting it with a lot of confidence, and I think that the more that she shoots that, the more that she gets those looks. I think that down the stretch of the season is going to be something that's going to probably to win us a game at one point or another. What's going to probably keep losing this game is going to be Aliyah Boston being in foul trouble every single night. Aliyah Boston's a hack. I love AB. I rock with AB heavy. AB is a fucking hack. AB just be out there fouling people on offense, fouling people on defense. And the worst part about it is that after every single time, she looks so lost. She looks so confused. She's like, what? How could you be calling a foul on me? This makes no sense. But it's like, Aliyah, you be fouling people, bro. Like Not even talking about the elbows. I know that's a constant thing that people talk about with Aliyah. Not even talking about the elbows. Just like, you know what I'm saying, just how she doesn't really like set up position. The way how she kind of does move her, the way how she moves her body. It looks like it is an offensive shot because she just kind of keeps it real low, and it looks like she is just throwing elbows and hitting people. And even when she's setting screens, she's always moving. I think part of that also is Caitlin Clark and the guards going early. And then on defense, she her hands are always like kind of leaning over like that, not straight up like they need to be. She's a hack. She's a hack. Love AB, but she's gonna have to get that right. But we'll take 34 and 12. 34 and 12 on 50%. 34 and 12 on 50%. I'm on this. Clearly this video needs to end. I can't talk. 34 and 12 on 50%. You will take that. 2 big blocks. She got mad. She got into a little scuffle with Azure Steven. I think it was in the first quarter or so. And she kind of got mad and kind of just started really balling. Like, she really fed into the whole pick and roll. And when she got that ball into the mid post, she really made the most of it get into the rim, and really just throwing her body around, throwing her weight around. So shout out to AB. We'll take that. But we gotta stack better games, man. We cannot keep having these close games with every single team that we play. We're better than an overtime game against the Sky. At least I think we are. We might not be, but we'll figure it out. We're going to the chip at some point. You know what I'm saying? Championship is not right now, so we're gonna figure that out. But that's all I got for this one. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.